How much longer are you willing to wait to achieve your goal? Your goal here on the Rebounder, your goal, the reason that you are bouncing. That's what I want you to think about as we continue our session today. So if you're new here, my name is Steph, and I am 4 months into gentle rebounding. Gentle rebounding meaning that as we're using our mini trampoline, the Rebounder, we are bouncing into the mat and we are not necessarily coming off of the mat. It's simple and gentle and it's kind to your body. And the moves, as you can see, I keep them really basic. There's no high choreography here. So all I just say, tomorrow marks my 4-month anniversary since I got on a Rebounder for the very first time on May 3rd, 2025. And I am at a point now where 4 months in, I feel comfortable. I feel that I understand the basics of what I'm doing on the Rebounder, which is very different than where I started. I started completely brand new. And not only do I feel more comfortable, but I've built up a level of endurance and stamina that I am able to do more than I definitely could on the first day in the first week. But even over a period of time where I was still struggling to get up to 10 minutes and maintain 10 minutes on a consistent basis, I am now in the middle of my very own 90-day challenge that I set for myself a little over a week ago. And this 90-day challenge is just to test the parameters, to test the edge, to see how much further I can go, what else I can do. So what I'm looking to do now is to be on my Rebounder for 20 minutes a day and to also be walking 1 mile a day. Now, I'm sharing all of that with you because it brings us back to our opening question. How long are you willing to wait to achieve the results of your goal, to have your goal come to your present reality instead of being this thing that, oh yeah, someday I hope, right? No. When do you want it to happen? So here's where I've gotten to the point now where I've spent these 4 months really finding what I'm capable of, finding my groove, getting comfortable, all the things, really deepening into my capacity. But now I'm ready to say, okay, I want to see some major results because I went up. If you followed my journey here, I went up 10 pounds when I first started rebounding. Then I came back down 10 pounds. So I kind of started back about at the same weight that I started at. However, I've grown muscle and I have gotten stronger and more capable. But I'm like, okay, I want more to actually be released and I want to feel even better and have more mobility, more capability, more strength, all these things that I have to find for myself and how I just want to feel throughout my day. For example, I just got back from taking a fun little adventurous trip up to a local lake and getting to spend some time with my dog out in the sun and my son, and it was just amazing. However, it was about a 50-minute drive one way. And when I get out of the car, I'm so stiff. When I have to sit still for that long period of time, my body just gets so stiff. And I'm like, I don't believe this because I can do so much on the Rebounder when I get my mobility going. And it's like the lubrication in my joints, all this stuff is just working and activated. But when I sit still, then I'm really, really stiff. And we stopped at one point, and when we got out, I was just trying to get to walking, just even walking. So my body was so stiff. My hip felt locked up. The bottom of my feet hurt. It was like all these things all at once. And my son is like, come on, you're so slow. And I'm like, hey, it is what it is. And I have to let my body wake back up. I have to let my body get back into action. And then once I get going, then I'm fine and I can walk and I can move. But see, it's stuff like this that I don't want to accept that this is just a part of aging. I want to right now, this is just me, but I want to blame it on the fact that I'm carrying extra weight that is unnecessary weight. And if I release the weight, then I'm going to feel better. If I release the weight, then I'm going to be able to move better and I'm going to have better mobility in my joints. So that is what I'm going to hold on to. That is what I'm going to believe. Please don't squash my thoughts in the comments. I want to believe that if I can do this, I can feel better. So all that to say, I have increased the amount that I want to bounce every single day. And I'm getting ready to start, and I'm going to start publishing it here as well on YouTube, on our channel. I am going to show you some additives that I'm bringing into my personal sessions. If you want to follow along and give it a try, you're welcome to do it. But in addition to bringing stronger energy, more momentum to my workouts, I found a way to add in some hand weights. And it's fun. It's counting my jumps, which I also love, the tool that I'm using. And it's allowing me to up level, and because it's asking more of me in my workouts. And I need that level of challenge because, bringing it back once again to our opening question, how long do you want to wait to achieve your goal? I don't want to wait anymore. Like, I would love it for all the weight to be released and I'm feeling much better. But in doing that, I'm like, okay, let's take this in increments. So instead of having my big goal before me, let's break this down into chunks. So over the next 90 days, my goal is to release 20 pounds of unwanted fat and to gain or convert, however I would think about that, what I have into 5 pounds of muscle. So that's a fair amount of time to build that amount of muscle and putting in the effort and the work to actually achieve that. So 5 pounds of muscle added and 20 pounds of fat released is my goal over the next 20 months. And that puts me a fifth of the way towards my big goal. And that feels good for me because I'm like, okay, that would put me also, I set the goal on August 22nd. So that's September 22nd, November 22nd. That would be right before Thanksgiving, hitting that goal. And right before the end of the year, that feels as a good place too. So I know what I want to do. I've broken down my big goal into a micro goal and I wanted to make this move. So that's why I wanted to share with you kind of where I'm at, what's going on, so you can consider where you're at, what you're doing. How quickly do you want to start to achieve this goal? If your goal is huge, which I do encourage you to have a big goal that you don't even know how you're going to achieve, put that before you. Start to develop your confidence and your belief that it's possible. Break it down into smaller micro steps like what I'm talking about so that you can have success markers. That's what we'll call it. A point where you can reach and go, look what I did. I got this done. So I feel like in my first 4 months, I have grown stronger, more capable. I'm believing that it's possible to start losing weight after a very long time of not believing it was possible. So I had to clean up a lot of thoughts. I had to clean up a lot of just misery and, inaction and also inability, like not believing it was possible for me, believing something was wrong and broken about my body. So I feel like I've done that work over the last 4 months, as well as gotten really comfortable here on the Rebounder and what I'm capable of doing, building up the consistency in my routine and my habits so that now I know in this next 90 days, I'm ready for it. Like I'm ready for the next stage of what that looks like for me. So all that to say that next 3 months will take me past really a half of a year. That will be tremendous. And I will be super excited to share with you all the progress as I'm doing that, because this is about sharing my journey to encourage you, to equip you as you start your own rebounding journey. So keep that in mind. Know what it is that you are striving for. And now let's break it down and let's say, okay, I'm ready to call it in. I'm ready for this to happen. I'm ready for it to be by this particular date, and set that date, mark it on the calendar. I'm making mine bold and pronouncing it here to you so that that is a known factor. I have something to hold me accountable and that I'm pushing towards with that public accountability. So keep an eye out. Be sure and check into the next videos where I'm going to show you what this modification in my workout looks like as I'm adding in these hand weights. And I think you're going to be really excited. Like, even if you don't follow it and do necessarily what I'm doing with these hand weights and seeing how I'm using them, it's just going to be fun to watch. And yeah, just see a little variance to my particular workouts. It is more momentum and more movement and way more energy. And when I'm done, I'm feeling it, which is what I want, because I do want to start to release, hopefully. And I know you can't isolate where I'm going to lose, but I am really seeking to lose more in my stomach range and, to reward myself with new undergarments. Like I've been holding out because I'm like, I want to release some more weight before I go buy new ones because I want to buy a more comfortable size. Yes. And I've ordered a couple of new pants as well. And of course, I also have my fun new fall themed t-shirt that I got to design. It is a candy corn, the cutest candy corn, bouncing on his own mini trampoline. So there you have it. And you can actually order yourself a shirt if you want to. The link is in the description. All right, friend, you have an amazing day. Enjoy yourself and just have so much fun as you take to your mini trampoline. Enjoy the bounce. Happy bouncing, friend.